Hello everyone, Stephanie here, your Youth and Community Librarian from the Medicine Hat Public Library, and welcome to Teen Book Chat. It's been a while, so welcome. This is the place where I chat about some books around a specific theme, and hopefully you find a new book to fall in love with. Today we are talking about some spooky books to get into the mood for Halloween. We're going to talk about some very scary books and then some spooky books that aren't so scary, just in case you don't want to be frightened and can't fall asleep. I also want to give you a quick update. Many of you have been using our RB Digital app to listen to audiobooks on your phone. That app has now been retired, and a lot of the titles from RB Digital can now be found on the Libby app. So don't fret, friends, your books are not gone. Download the Libby app by Overdrive on your phone and you can still find your favorite audiobooks here. As well as they have a huge selection of ebooks. So if you've never read a book on your phone or a tablet, why not give it a try? All right, friends, we're going to jump right into our first round of books. Now, be warned, I am starting with the scary horror books first. So if you do not want to read a scary book, skip this part. We are going to start off with a legend that is the scariest of one of them all, and based on kind of like a true legend. It is The Blood Countess by Lana Popovic. When 16-year-old Anna Druvalia is offered the chance to work for the young and enchanting Countess Elizabeth Bathroy, she leaps at the chance. Quickly rising from lowly scullery maid to Elizabeth's personal chambermaid, confidant, and eventual lover, Anna has the chance to provide for her family and learn from this woman who keeps her rapturously enthralled. As time progresses, however, Anna wonders if the darkness she sees in Elizabeth is more than she or they could ever bear, or the world could ever bear. Ultimately complicit in shocking acts of torture and murder of girls like herself, Anna realizes she's been shackled after all, but to what end? This blood-chilling YA gothic horror novel is about the real-life Countess Dracula. Super dark and violent and bloody, considering, you know, a serial killer is the main protagonist. Ooh, so scary! So this book, the legend of Countess Dracula inspired the Dracula story, and so this is kind of a cool historical gothic novel to read, and it is very, as I said, very dark, very bloody. So if that is your style for Halloween, definitely pick this book up. We have it available at the library for pickup. Our next book is another great one. It is an audiobook. So for our audiobook fans, you'll find this on the Libby app. It's called 10 by Gretchen McNeil. 10 teens, 3 days, 1 killer. It was supposed to be the weekend of their lives, an inclusive house party on Henry Island. Best friends Meg and Minnie are looking forward to 2 days of boys, booze, and fun-filled luxury. But what starts out as fun turns twisted after the discovery of a DVD with a sinister message. Vengeance is mine. And things only get worse from there. With a storm raging outside, the teens are cut off from the outside world. Oh, when a mysterious killer begins picking them off one by one, there's no escape. As the deaths become more violent and the teens turn on one another, can Meg find the killer before more people die? Or is the killer closer to her than she would ever imagined? Inspired by Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, and fans of slasher-type films or R.L. Stine will devour this bone-chilling thriller. This one will keep you up all night until you finish it. You will be at the edge of your seat right till the very end. Definitely pick this one up on the Libby app, and you can listen to it in e-audiobook. I think listening to it as an audiobook increases the creepiness and scariness because just the voices are in your head. Ugh. That's your thing. Go for it. Awesome. Ooh, next up is a ghost story. So for all my ghost story fans out there, you need to check out The Haunted by Daniel Vega. Haunted by a bad experience with her ex-boyfriend, Hendrix Beckett O'Malley suffers from PTSD. To help her start over, her family moves to Deerfield, New York. She quickly makes friends and even starts developing a crush or two. Much to her chagrin, however, Becker discovers Steel House, the fixer-upper her parents bought, is a local legend. People say the house is haunted by a murderous, vengeful ghost. When things fall off shelves with explanation and Hendrik starts seeing things that aren't there and hearing maniacal laughter, she wonders if the house is haunted or if it's her PTSD. When Hendrik's baby brother is physically attacked by a ghost, she approaches outsider Eddie, who lost both his siblings to Steel House, and together they must learn how to tame the vengeful ghost before it's too late for them all. I cannot do ghost stories because they just creep me the heck out. But if you love ghost stories, you will love The Haunted. You can pick it up at the library, and there's also a sequel. The sequel just came out this year, so pick up both of them and be creeped out and not be able to sleep ever. I promise you, you will not be able to sleep for a while after that one. All right, so this is our very last scary horror Halloween book, and then we're gonna move on to some spooky, not so scary books. Here There Are Monsters by Emilienda Brube. The Blair Witch Project meets Sadie by Courtney Summers in the story of sisterhood turned toxic, imaginary monsters brought to life, and secrets that won't stay buried. 16-year-old Skye is done playing the knight in shining armor for her insufferable younger sister, Deirdre, and moving across the country seems like the perfect chance to start over as someone different. In their isolated new neighborhood, Skye manages to fit in, but Deirdre withdraws from everyone, becoming fixated on the swampy woods behind their house and building monstrous sculptures out of sticks and bones. Then Deirdre disappears, and when something awful comes scratching at Skye's window in the middle of the night, claiming Skye's the only one who can save Deirdre, Skye knows she will stop at nothing to bring her sister home. This creepy monster novel is available for pickup and e-audio on the Libby app. So whatever your preference is, you can read it two different ways. This is a really creepy book, and I'm not going to tell you if the monsters are real, because you got to figure it out for yourself. Okay, so we're moving on to some paranormal spooky books that aren't so scary, keep you up at night, but still like spooky enough for Halloween. So this is more your jam and you don't want to be scared and not fall asleep. These are the books for you. And we're starting off with one of my personal favorite authors, This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. Love urban fantasy? Well, even if you've never read it before, this gritty, dark, and thought-provoking young adult duology needs to be on your Halloween reading list. This one is set in a world where violence creates actual deadly monsters and the land is run by two competing gangs, one in control of the monsters and one trying to save humanity from them, and the two young heirs of these opposing gangs who must choose where they fall in this unique spin on monsters. It's a cruel and violent novel and very character-driven, perfect for fans of Holly Black, Maggie Stiefvater, and Lanny Taylor. Also really cool is that there's a really awesome magic system in this book where magic is controlled by music. So music lovers, you will also really love this very unique duology. So duology means there's two books in the series, This Savage Song and its sequel, I think it's called Dark Duet. You can pick up the physical book or the ebook on Libby. Speaking of Maggie Stiefvater, I have a book from her on my list as well. It is Scorpio Races, and it's a standalone novel. You are looking for something super atmospheric and transports you to exactly what fall feels like. It's this book. I don't know how much more Halloween you can get with this setting, plus the idea of bloodthirsty killer horses and people riding them. The island of Thisbe, somewhere near Britain and replete with cars and electricity, is nevertheless fantastical, the home base of a fierce breed of water horses, man-eaters who rise from the autumn seas to terrorize the islanders. They can be captured and somewhat tamed, however, and once a year the island hosts a tourist draw, the Scorpio Races, a beachside contest often fatal to the riders. Sean Kendrick is one of the racers, a four-time champion on his trusty steed. Puck is new to the races and the first woman rider. Due to a loophole in the rules, Puck is riding a regular horse, her beloved Dove, which she trusts to run true against the more frightening contestants. Both riders have deeper personal motives for wanting to win, creating a thrilling backdrop for the love story that blooms between Sean and Puck. So, not as spooky as some of the earlier ones we've talked about, but man-eating killer horses? Oh my gosh. And people ride them? That sounds dangerous. You definitely want to pick up this novel. It is so, so interesting, and it won a Prince Award, a Prince Honor Award, so it means it was a really good book. So definitely pick it up, and it's a great one, especially if you don't want to pick up a new series, because it's just one and done. Ooh, our next one is kind of draws from Latin America legends, and this one is Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. Nothing says happy birthday like summoning the spirits of your dead relatives. Alex is a Bruja, the most powerful witch in the generation. She hates magic. At her death day celebration, Alex performs a spell to rid herself of her power, but it backfires. Her whole family vanishes into thin air, leaving her alone with Nova, a Brujo boy she can't trust. A boy whose intentions are as dark as the strange marks on his skin. The only way to get her family back is to travel with Nova to Los Lagos, a land in between, as dark as Limbo and as strange as Wonderland. First in the trilogy, this magic-infused, delightfully dark story introduces readers to an engrossing Latin America-inspired fantasy setting and an irresistible heroine and complex cast of characters. You can pick up this book at the library or listen to the e-audiobook on the Libby app. And as I said, it's a trilogy. Definitely highly recommend. It is super fun, super dark, and if you really love Latin American legend or culture, this is definitely a book for you to try. Very Alice in Wonderland and very Six of Crows-esque with a multitude of characters. All right, friends, we have come to our very last book. Thank you so much again for joining us. Let's get right into this last book. It is Out of Salem by Hal Shavir. After the car accident that killed their family, genderqueer 14-year-old Z. Chilworth is left a zombie. Becoming undead in the city of Salem, or in the 1990s, pushes Z into the world of monsters, magic, and prejudice that they had not given much thought to before, despite being a talented witch before their death in rebirth. Among openly hostile classmates and teachers, unreliable guardians, and an abusive police force with deep hatred for monsters, Z wonders how they will spend what is left of their unnaturally extended life, which, by all accounts, won't last much more than a year. But when they become friends with Azel, an unregistered werewolf, and Tommy, an unregistered shapeshifter, Z starts to feel like there might be more people worth fighting for and standing with after all. With gritty humor and an extensive cast of character, this story weaves together multiple threads to craft a rich, complicated near past where being different might be a death sentence. This book is available for pickup, and you will notice that a lot of the themes talked about in this book really relate to what's going on around in the world with hatred and racism and not accepting people for who they are. So really interesting read with paranormal characters, zombies, witches, werewolves living amongst us, but with some really good themes to take home and think about. You can pick this one up at the library. Well, friends, that is all the spooky books I had. I hope you have a great and safe Halloween. Make sure you come to the library on Halloween, October 31st, and there will be a multitude of activities. We're handing out candy, there's going to be a scavenger hunt, there's going to be a costume contest, there's going to be an artist panel, and there's going to be free comic books. So make sure you come down and see us on Saturday, October 31st, and get some goodies and participate in some programs and pick up some Halloween books, because it's never too late to read Halloween books. Just read them on Halloween if you're already busy. You just come get them. All right, friends, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye.